Previously on Up at Noon.
Hey Greg, have you heard about these new see-through exercise pants that are getting recalled?
No, what about them?
They're like these Lululemon yoga pants, and girls wear them, and you can see their butts when they exercise. So they had to pull them off the market because they were like too
All of them. Every pair of pants is doing this.
Yeah, you can't buy them anymore.
Can you see through mine? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Up at Noon. You can't see under this desk, but I'm still wearing those tights. Ow! They're just so comfy. A bit more sheer than I was expecting. Big show here today. Brian Altano is here to talk about Wolfenstein: The New Order. Jedi Master Anthony Gallegos breaks down what the EA Star Wars partnership means to gamers like you. And Jeremy Gaffney is here to bring us more about the awesome new MMO WildStar, including how you can get into the closed beta. But first, the news you care about. Former Assassin's Creed creative director Patrice Désilets was fired from Ubisoft after just recently being rehired by Ubisoft. But don't worry, Patrice. We here at Up at Noon have decided to hire you on as executive director of... Just kidding, you've been fired. GameStop announced that this June it will stop taking PS2s as trade-ins, but if you really need the 17 cents the company is offering, you probably should focus on getting your GED instead of buying video games. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, this just in again. Patrice Désilets has been hired as the brand new Senior Vice President of... fired again. He's getting closer, but these French people cannot catch a break today. EA has struck a multi-year deal with Disney to be the exclusive developer of video games based on the Star Wars franchise. Their first move? Lightsaber microtransactions. Now, for real, for more on what this means for Star Wars fans like yourself, here's IGN's resident Jedi genius, Anthony Gallegos.
So with the recent acquisition of the Star Wars license from EA, you know, it's an exciting time to be a Star Wars fan. Oh, sorry, I just turned on my lightsaber. It's an exciting time to be a Star Wars fan. You know, personally, I would love to see a revival of game franchises like Star Wars Republic Commando, maybe a new take on the Star Wars Pod Racer series. I think that, you know, people should definitely not get their hopes up that we'll see 1313 ever continue. I would say that's dead at this point. Sadly, it has joined the living force, as they say. I know that a lot of people out there are not really big fans of EA. They got voted the worst company in America by some group, but I would say give them a chance. They just might surprise you. I really love Star Wars.
Thanks, Anthony. I, for one, can't wait to see what happens now. I mean, it's not every day that the most evil company in America takes control of the most evil empire in the galaxy. What? Breaking news. I'm sorry. Hired again. And finally, Bethesda Softworks revealed that it's working on a sequel to the popular World War II Nazi killing game Wolfenstein, this time titled Wolfenstein: The New Order. To talk about how they're modernizing the classic franchise for a new audience, here's Bethesda Softworks Nazi image consultant. Good God, how did we let this... Brian Altano, everybody!
Thanks, Greg. Hitler is a bad guy. He's probably the worst. But that makes him a great video game villain. Problem is, most kids today can't identify with him because he has stupid clothes, dumb hair, and the mustache of a filthy pedophile. I mean, look at this guy. He looks like an angry soccer dad. Oh, I'm Hitler. I went to art school and I hate everyone. Wah. It's ridiculous. So Greg, let's fix this guy and give him a magical, modern makeover. You guys ready? Yeah! All right, first off, ditch the mustache, turn that frown upside down. Look at that! It's better already. It's like he's ready for a hot date. But not wearing that ugly-ass Nazi shirt he's not. So let's give him a cool leather jacket. Yeah, and a chain. Man, what a stud he is. Get it, girl? We have to do something about that venue. All those angry, oppressive white men yelling in a room full of flags? Who's going to tweet about that? Let's put him in a nightclub. Yeah, keep those drinks flowing, bartenders. I'm Hitler, bitch. It's party time. And who parties better than the guy with indoor aviator glasses? What? Hold on, Hitler. Let me upgrade you to 90s throwback Kanye West glasses. Oh, what's that you say? You're still not satisfied? We gotta do something with that hair? Bedhead, baby. Ooh, you're so sexy. Make it rain, Hitler.
Brian, holy shit, you made him look like Justin Bieber.
What? It's not even close. You're crazy. Jeez, it's not like I gave him an ethnic girlfriend.
Brian Altano, everybody. It looks like we've created a monster. Speaking of creating monsters, Greg Way, WildStar lets you do just that, but you can also create normal-looking people if you want to do. It's an MMO. Anyways, give it up for this week's guest, Jeremy Gaffney. As I live and breathe, Jeremy Gaffney, how are you, sir?
Doing well.
You're here to talk about the WildStar. Now let's get some things on the table right away. WildStar, this is the game's second time on the show.
Yes, indeed.
First time a guy named Mike brought it by, and he predicted he'd never be back on the show, and here you are taking his place.
Strangely, there's some amount of alcohol consumed, I think, that made that be his last public appearance ever.
Well, good. I'm glad we could sync his career. But before when WildStar came by, I remember they were trying to sell me on like, well, WildStar on the show, and I was like, okay. And I had to go talk to some PC nerds about if it matters. And they're like, it matters. You want him on the show? And I was like, fine. And the show did really well. But I think the show did really well because Mike talked about furries when he talked about WildStar.
Yeah.
So to start off, can you talk about any kind of weird sexual kink thing to get going? Just so I can, just for YouTube tagging and such.
Are you looking for mine or WildStar's?
Either or.
Okay, there's actually some combined with both.
I would expect that if you're in charge of this game. How are you? Thank you so much for coming.
Hey, appreciate it. I have to say, by the way, that is the first time that I have ever been preceded by Hitler on any show ever.
Well, if we have our way, it won't be the last.
Excellent.
Because we are bringing him back. Didn't get a big laugh on that. We're not really bringing Hitler back here. He had some bad ideas. We're not following him. So the WildStar, the MMO here, the big news you're here to talk about, closed beta.
Yes, indeed.
People can start trying to get into the closed beta. How do they go about that?
So what we have coming up is we have a big stress test going on. The goal of the stress test is make everything explode. And so, because normally this is sort of a painful process, what we'd actually like to do is make sure that if you come in, you help us break all the servers, we'll actually let people who help us do that attempt actually get into the closed beta proper and be able to play for reals.
Okay, so how do they go about doing that?
Well, the first part is go to our website, wildstar-online.com. Yes.
Just put it right there. Craig Baradon did that. Craig, give yourself a Twitter plug too. Nice job.
And if you help us out with our stress test, that's it. We'll let you come in, we'll let you play, we'll let you have a good time with everybody else who's running around the world causing havoc right now.
Stress test, betas, these are good ideas. Have you talked to other companies about doing this?
Yes.
Not I'm gonna, Shim Shitty or something like that, huh?
Oh, harsh.
Well, it's not harsh, it's the truth. Now, but here's the other thing about it too. Your game, no release date yet still.
Nope.
Are you still trying to say 2013? That was the thing when Mike was here last time.
We're saying it's ready when it's ready, and that's the short form. Now, we'd like it to be ready in 2013. That would be awesome. I'd like it to be ready. My bosses would like it to be ready. But the real goal is AAA MMO. There's a problem. There's a problem out there where games tend to get rushed, and all the more so when you're an MMO. You're huge. You got a big team. You got big budgets. There's a temptation to want to get that thing out the door, but the real thing is do it right. Tons of content, have good games at the top. Once you're top level, you have to have fun stuff to do. So once that's done, that's it, it's out. And it's easy to put lip service to that, but in practice, we all play each other's games, we all play each other's stuff, and everybody has an opinion, When you think like it in terms of being a gamer, it's not really about saying, oh, hey, if we rush it out 3 months early, we'll make more money. No, if you make a good games sell. There's always room at the top, and there's barely any room anywhere else.
I wish we could just end the interview because that was like a really good soundbite.
Damn, slam it.
Yeah, but we won't. We'll talk about. I'm going to drag it down right now for you and just
Sweet.
Make you talk about other stuff too. WildStar, not your traditional MMO. This was the big thing Mike talked about when he showed it to me the first time. It had this sci-fi slant. I was super excited, but a lot of the comments on the last Up at Noon about it were like, I don't totally get how characters work. Is the MMO Holy Trinity still there? Your tanks, your DPS, your healers. How does that all work? How does characters go?
Well, we do two parts. First off, Holy Trinity, we're not scared of it. Yes, there are people who do damage. Yes, there are people who take damage. Yes, there's people who heal, all that stuff. But the important part is going beyond that. What we're trying to do is mix up combat. we've all killed enough goblins in our life. We all stand there whacking on the same damn thing over and over again.
Me, Brian, and Nick whack on the same damn thing all the time.
Yes, that's a soundbite that might live forever. And so what we really want to do is try to make it so that you actually have to, God forbid, get engaged in combat. Not play the UI, but you're actually in there having to react to what's going on in the world. And we do that by having the monsters say what the heck they're going to do in advance. And so they start changing the battlefield around. They start doing all this cool, crazy stuff. And then players do the same things. You say, hey, I'm going to do a heal spell over here, and people line up. It's kind of like more like your march in formation, like you got phalanxes and things going on, than it is about, hey, we stand in place. You're watching like 4 pixels on your screen in between the UI. And so we're trying to mix it up a bit. We're not scared of the basic stuff that comes with the MMO territory. But for God's sake, we want to do things a little bit differently.
So doing something differently, I usually put up, the Twitter, ask me a question, oh, that's not blah, blah, blah. My girlfriend, she's a big Guild Wars player, so she eyemed me with a laundry list of questions for you.
Oh, yeah,
but I'll boil
respect.
it down to the one is, what about WildStar in a market that is crowded with WoW, that is crowded with Guild Wars, is crowded with the best MMO of all time, DC Universe Online? Why, what do you guys bring to the table you feel that makes people say, we need to play WildStar?
Here's where we vary that up. It's all about playing the way that you want to play. And that's a great thing to put lip service to. And so we try to put teeth on this. We say, Paz, how do you play MMOs? What do you enjoy? Do you dig the story? Awesome. We actually let you choose a path, which is, it's not class, it's not race, it's not all the standard crap. What this does is it takes it so that now the game becomes more about story for you. 25% of stuff, 30% of stuff shifts over to be about unlocking, hey, what happened on this crazy planet? What's going on this thing? Dig out more interesting information. Or you like socializing. Awesome. As soon as you choose that path, 20% of the stuff, 25% of the stuff becomes about socializing. You get social quests, you get social rewards. A big chunk of the game becomes playing the way that you want to play.
Interesting.
And what we're really trying to do more than anything else, it's, hey, how do you want to play it? Great, we'll give you more of that. And it's powerful. But the key is it's an MMO, and so you got to do this with people of other play styles. Now, Leroy Jenkins doesn't care about story. He wants to leap on there and beat the crap out of stuff. Awesome. If you're playing with your buddy who is like that, we want to actually make a world where you and he can actually have a good time together. That's the goal. And we'll see how well we pull it off or not. And part of that, of course, is getting enough people in there to go test stuff out and go find it out, which is exactly why we're starting to ramp stuff up right now on the beta front.
And you can go to this URL to go do it.
It's like magic.
Good job, Craig. Give yourself a Twitter bump. All right. So the other thing you're debuting here, White Veil, a new environment. This is PvP.
Yeah, White Veil is cool for a couple of reasons. First of all, first time ever seen we have now going on our B-roll is White Veil. This is a cool zone. It's all full of where this giant battle happened, and in the middle of the battle, a spell went off and everything's been frozen, and so there's all sorts of stuff buried underneath the ice to discover. But most key, it's also the first area where you get to do PvP in the open world. So this is like level 22 to level 30, and now the factions start fighting, and you start getting to kick ass and take names in the name of your faction.
And that's what it's all about, right?
Hell yeah.
So closed beta going on right now. People can go to this address. They can try to get into it and stuff. I wish you the best of luck. You're going to need it probably. A million people are going. Jeremy, thank you so much for coming by, showing the game. Good luck. Get it out soon.
Hey, my pleasure.
All right, take care. That's our show, everybody. A huge thank you to Brian Altano, Anthony Gallegos, Jeremy Gaffney, and you, my wonderful real-life audience. Andrew Goldfarb's over there. If you want to be in that audience with Andrew Goldfarb, go.ign.com/upatnoon for details. As always, Brian and I will be responding to comments the first hour this video is live on IGN, so get over there and make it count every Monday at noon Pacific Standard Time. We'll be back next Monday, but until then, I'm going back to bed. DaveFenoy.com.